Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are looking at Tisch Loveless Court and the Anderson Athletic Center for tonight's men's basketball non-conference matchup featuring the Yeomen of Oberlin College and your Kalamazoo College Hornets. Good evening again, everyone. My name is Zach Metz. Special guest joining me tonight from the Kalamazoo College women's basketball team, Macy Ivins. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. You know, we should have a pretty good matchup tonight. Oberlin comes in 5-3. A little bit of an interesting record. They've won all of their non-conference games. Their 3 losses all in conference as part of the North Coast Athletic Conference. They've lost 3 in a row, all 3 of those, as mentioned, conference games at Worcester, at Denison, and then a home game against Wabash. Kalamazoo, on the other hand, off to a 4-1 start, coming off of a dominant 96-75 victory over Case Western Reserve. A game that many people were surprised by outside of the realm of that locker room, but the Hornets able to dominate a program the caliber of Case Western Reserve. And with that, we're going to take a look at tonight's starting lineups. We'll start with the Yeomen of Oberlin College, coached by Shiva Senthil, who is in his 3rd year with the program, has really helped develop the Oberlin College basketball program into a program that can win a lot of games. Took a big step from year 1 to year 2 and looking to continue into year 3. First up for them, a senior guard from Shaker Heights, Ohio, number 5, Asan Snipes-Ray. A senior guard from Los Angeles, California, number 11, Yoki Okubo. A sophomore guard from Huntington Beach, California, number 20, J.J. Gray. A senior guard from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, number 21, Andrew Gannon. And a junior center from Podgorica, Montenegro, number 35, Malun Michanovic. Now we flip it over, look at the Hornets starters. A junior guard from Howell, Michigan, number 5, Carter Bandemer. A freshman guard from Ann Arbor, Michigan, number 12, Nelson Sopa. A senior forward from Boise, Idaho, number 20, Lucas Broadsword. A senior guard from Miami, Florida, number 22, DJ Courtney. And a sophomore guard, number 23, Patrick Perez. We're just about 2.5 minutes until we get this game underway. Again, we thank you all for tuning in. Kalamazoo 4-1, Oberlin 5-3. The Hornets feel like the Yeomen will be their biggest test of the season so far. So, Macy, when you are playing a team that you feel like is the best you've seen, you know, what do you think has to be different from a preparation standpoint?
I think you had to go into it 0-0, records are 0-0, and you just had to play the best ball. And because records are, you could win any game if you just go into it like that. You just had to play your hardest, doesn't matter who you're playing.
There you go, 2 minutes to go until we start this one. We thank you all for tuning in. Again, my name is Zach Metz. Next to me, Macy Ivins. And we thank you all for watching, and we hope you stay tuned for the entirety of tonight's contest between the Yeomen of Oberlin College and your Kalamazoo College Hornets. As the honor roll, Paul Breitenstein tells us our officials for tonight, Corey DeGroot, Ross Winter, and Corey Smith. These teams have met 6 times since 2010. Kalamazoo leads the series 4-2. The last time these two teams met was in November of 2022 when Oberlin came to Kalamazoo and picked up a 73-67 victory over the Hornets. Kalamazoo won the 2 visiting trips to Oberlin prior to that, and we are underway. Lucas Broadsword wins the tip, gets it back to Nelson Sompa, and the Hornets in white will control the first possession. Sompa will step back and try a deep 3, no good. Off front iron. Rebound controlled by Milu Michanovic. 6'10 center for Oberlin, controlling it here. Yoki Okubo, second in the country in assists at 7.4 a game. Andrew Gannon slowed up. Okubo gets a screen from Michanovic. Dumps down to the big man, and he shuffled his feet before getting the shot up. An early turnover. So now Sompa and the Hornets. Sompa up there in the NCAA Division III assist board himself. He's sitting at 11th in the total as DJ Courtney drives, flips underneath, and scores the first 2 of the game. For the Hornets, Sompa, as I was talking about, 6.2 assists per game as Okubo brings it quickly the other way, hits a back cut to Gannon, kick out to Hassan, snipes Ray. One more to J.J. Gray's 3. It's good. Gray, a potential All-American candidate out of Huntington Beach, California, averaging over 14 a game. Gives the Yeomen their first lead. Now Broadsword working on Michanovic, kicks it out to Sompa. He'll try another 3. That's no good. Sompa just a 27% three-point shooter on the year, 0 for 2 early. Did hit a couple in that win over Case Western Reserve. Another 3 for Gray, no good. The Hornets bring it the other way. They thought transition will be an area they could exploit today. I feel like they have the deeper team of these two as Courtney working around the screen. Step back, tries a 3, no good. So far the Hornets 0 for 3 from deep. Now Hassan snipes Ray. Gives to Okubo. He pulls up a mid-range J. Rattles no good. The early shots really not falling for either side right now. Sompa drives, gives it out to Carter Vandermeer. He thinks about a 3. Guarded by the long and tall Gray at 6'7". Vandermeer into the paint. Kicks out. Patrick Perez was hit on the arm as he was going up. He will shoot 3 free throws. Not a foul you like to see if you're Oberlin there. Giving Perez, who is also not a great three-point shooter, with just 2 of 8 from deep, 3 free throws. He's a 54% free throw shooter. His first one comes up short. Nick Giard, the Kalamazoo College head coach in his 5th year, has seen improvement in the win category every year. He's been the head coach post-COVID as Perez rattles home the second free throw. Third one rather short, and it's going to be out of bounds off of Broadsword. Oberlin will get it. That foul is charged to Andrew Gannon, and some full court pressure from the Hornets. Why do you think they go to this early in the game?
I think they're trying to tire them out because they seem to have a lot more numbers than Oberlin, but we'll see how it works.
Oberlin breaks it fairly easily. Gray around the screen. Steps back, tries a mid-range jumper. He got it. All of Oberlin's points so far from J.J. Gray. But that length can certainly present matchup problems at 6'7" and arms that are just as long. Vandermeer around his screen, faces up, goes to Perez, now entering to broadsword. On the block, working on the taller Michanovic, but he steps through and scores. Broadsword is Kalamazoo's leading scorer, 18 a game. Gray goes back to Okubo, over to Gannon, got Courtney in the air, then tried to dump it down. Courtney recovered. Now Gannon tries a three. That comes up short. Michanovic gets the rebound and is fouled before he can put the shot up. First one on Perez. And that will take us to a 30-second timeout called. Just over 3 minutes into this game. Well, so far, even score. What are you seeing?
I'm seeing that I think it's going to be a big man game. I think if both teams try and push it into the post, then we'll have a good matchup.
And both big men do have the ability to score. Maloon Michanovic averaging 6 a game, but he's coming off a very big game for the Yeomen. On the other side, Broadsword, already mentioned, he's the leading scorer for Kalamazoo at 18 a game. Michanovic, game by game, against Wabash, he had his season high of 14 points. He isn't a guy who takes a ton of shots, but
he's there on the boards.
He certainly is, averaging 8 boards a game. As Hassan snipes, Ray will inbound. They get the inbound to Gray. Perez went for a steal, didn't get it. Now snipes Ray. To Michanovic to Okubo. Gray pulls up again. This one rattles home. J.J. Gray with 7 points already halfway to his season average. Vandermeer thought about a three. It's going to be tough for him to get a shot up over Gray. Sompa faking. Gets in the lane, floats and scores. What an impact he has had in his first season of collegiate basketball as the Hornet point guard. Now Gray. Season high of 26 points. That came against another MIAA opponent in Albion. A little under a month ago as Okubo goes under his screen. Over to Snipes Ray. Gray. And now we're going to get an offensive foul before he could put the shot up. Michanovic picks it up.
Fouls on Michanovic. His first. We got an immediate timeout.
And that will take us to our first media timeout of the game. About 4 minutes in, we're even at 7 between Kalamazoo and Oberlin. Out of the timeout, Hornets will have it after Malou Michanovic picks up his first foul.
And for Oberlin, number 3.
Connor Koke in for the first time for Kalamazoo. Will Bousquet for Oberlin in. Vandermeer off the screen, gets into the lane, dumps it down to Broadsword. And Michanovic in the air, no good. He's the guy Oberlin does not want to pick up 2 fouls. Got his first one on the offensive foul. Bousquet atop of the arc three, it's good. Will Bousquet has struggled shooting the ball early in the year, but the Hornets graded him as an A shooter. They know his ability. Koke nearly traveled, had the ball stripped away, and this time he does travel. Another Oberlin sub, Zach Smith, junior averaging under 12 a game. He's another good shooter, 50% on the year. Okubo comes to get it. Oberlin 10, Kalamazoo 7. Okubo spins, fakes the shot, and tries to enter it to Michanovic. It's loose on the ground, and we are going to get a jump ball.
Play.
Those are always plays you love to see. The jump ball will keep it here. 14 on the shot clock. Hornets will bring Lucas Hannafin into the game for the first time. Hannafin, the junior from Chelsea. We say it every time, two-sport athlete and a first-team All-MIAA wide receiver. This ball's inbounded to Okubo. He goes down to Snipes Ray on Courtney. Kick out to Smith. His three deflected by Vandermeer and rebounded by Courtney. Vandermeer, the handoff. They enter the broadsword. Now Hannafin. Out to Courtney. He'll drive baseline. No, he stepped out of bounds first. There's a pair of subs for Oberlin. Adam Navarre in, junior from Dayton, Maryland, and Duke Luwall, big 7-footer out of Trabuco Canyon, California.
I'm excited to see this matchup.
Broadsword and Luwall.
Yeah.
He's got it here. He turns, throws at the rim, no good. Luwall hasn't seen much scoring. That was just his fourth field goal try of the year. Broadsword out to Vandermeer. Thought about a three. Drives baseline. Gives the broadsword. Backs down Luwall. Gets him in the air. Couldn't score. Broadsword wanted a foul. Corey DeGroot let it go. Okubo drives all the way to the rim and scores. Yuki Okubo with his first two, averaging about 12 a game. Broadsword has it deflected out of bounds. It will stay on this end. Two more subs for the Hornets as Perez comes back in and J.J. Stevens in for the first time today. And Oberlin will bring in a sub of their own. Rob Magner in. As well, your matchup you were excited for didn't last long as Luwall and Broadsword both out of the game now. Stevens pump fakes out to Hannafin. Man went down and Hannafin's going to get an easy run to the rim for two. Busquet drives, has it picked up. To Okubo. They try and enter down low, and Perez gets a steal. Perez driving, has the matchup, and then draws a foul. That's going to be Okubo.
Fouls on Okubo. That's his first. Team's third.
That'll be his first.
Patrick Perez at the line.
And Perez will go back to the line where he missed two of his first three. Drops the first in there. High arcing free throws for Perez as the Hornets check some guys in for the first time. DJ Ferguson, senior from Lansing, Michigan, and Bradley Izuka, freshman from Canton, come in. Perez comes up short on the second free throw. Oberlin 12, Kalamazoo 10. Here's Navarre out to Smith. One more to Okubo. He drives, flips it up, and took some body contact. He will shoot two. It's going to be on Hannafin. First free throw is short. Okubo's a very good free throw shooter, 81%. So far, anything other than a layup has not been high percentage for anyone on either side, as the second free throw good. For anyone other than J.J. Gray, I should say. He's on the bench right now for Oberlin. Perez on the wing. Enters the Stevens. Stevens working on Magner. Over to Ferguson, a corner. Three is good. Ferguson was just constantly moving without the basketball. As Oberlin goes quickly, Okubo over to Smith. He pumps and drives. Took some contact, no good. Okubo got the offensive rebound. Hornets caught a break there. Okubo, the smallest guy on the floor at 5'8", got the offensive rebound, had a putback opportunity as Ferguson steps out of bounds to turn this back over. It's the third Hornet turnover of the game. As Gray comes back in for Oberlin, as well as for the first time today, Zach Bronson, junior from Los Angeles. California well represented on the Oberlin roster.
Very much so.
It's a roster that stretches across the world as Gray comes around the screen, pulls up, and hits with Stevens' hand in his face. Florida, New York, California, Ohio, Maryland, Illinois, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, as Stevens goes baseline, and he's going to be fouled by Busquet. You got the UK, you got Montenegro in there. First one on Busquet, fourth on Oberlin. Keep an eye on that. And that is going to take us to another media timeout. Up and down action early here in the first half. We're at the under 12. Oberlin with a 15-13 lead. Kalamazoo nearly made a full line change. They brought Courtney, Koki, Broadsword, and Sompa back in as Gray and Koki being separated. Koki in the short corner, picks up his dribble and kicks it out to Sompa. Koki again working around Gray. 5 to shoot. Ball is deflected, and then a foul. Should go the other way. It is. It's going to be on Broadsword. That's his first. Kalamazoo entered this game scoring almost 95 points a game, fourth in the country, and two of the three teams ahead of them are, now granted they played one of them, Grinnell. They are full court press, 7 seconds or less type of offenses as Gray gets down the block, kicks it out to Busquet. Koki slips, Busquet drives, couldn't get it, and Vandermeer controls the rebound. The other team that's up there, Greenville, another 7 seconds or less press all game type of team as Courtney gets whistled for a travel. Almost 9 minutes into this, just 13 points. What's got to change for Kalamazoo offensively?
I think they're letting Oberlin speed them up and letting them dictate their offense. And I think if they just slow it down and run their plays, I think they'll be all right. And also on the defensive side, stopping J.J. Gray. from getting any open shots would really help them a lot.
Busquet missed the last 3. Now Broadsword on the block. Spins through some contact and scores. That'll help. Getting Lucas Broadsword going. He's got 4 points. Zach Bronson brings it up. There's Gray. Working on Koki. Drives. And a short corner jumper good. Koki tried to draw a charge. Couldn't do so. 17-15 Oberlin. Broadsword again. Skip Sompa. He's going to get into the paint. And this should be a jump ball with the deflection on the ball. And they will keep it here as the Yeoman makes some changes. Michanovich, Smith, and Snipes Ray all back in. Sompa gets down the dribble handoff. Broadsword, 8 to shoot. Bandemir has to try a 3. Back iron, no good, and Michanovich tips the ball to Bronson for the rebound. Bronson, not much of a scoring threat, is just 1.6 points per game. Michanovich tries a 3 and got it.
I mean, we all love a big man 3.
That's his first 3 of the year. He only tried 4 before that. Gives Oberlin a 5-point lead. Bandemir off the screen. Out to Sompa. He gets one of his own and he answers. First 3 of the game for Sompa. Brings it back to 2. Smith. Hornets go under a screen and Smith makes him pay. And just like that, we've got some back and forth from beyond the arc going. Courtney got a little tangled up and kicked it out to Koki. Broadsword gives it to Bandemir. Out to Koki. Can he answer? Way too strong off the back end of the backboard, and Oberlin brings it back. Smith to Bronson. To Snipes Ray. He stops and kicks it out. Bronson under his screen. Michanovich. Gray. Spins. Gray fades away. Tough shot. He got it to fall. J.J. Gray cooking early with now 13 points. 7-point Oberlin lead, the largest of this game. Sompa out to Courtney. They go to Broadsword. Broadsword couldn't get it up through the contact. Michanovich doing a nice job of staying straight up. Now Oberlin can extend this lead even more. Bronson to Smith. Steps back, tries to drive, and then a block called on Bandemir. And this should take us to another timeout, which it will. So the Yeomen putting some separation between them and the Hornets so far. 7:56 to go first half. It's Oberlin 25, Kalamazoo 18.
Checking in for Oberlin, number 11.
Hannafin And Ferguson back in for Kalamazoo. They bring Dougie Blackwood into the game for the first time. Okubo back in for Oberlin. He's got it here, being guarded by Hannafin. Okubo out. Michanovic tries another three. That one's no good. Courtney got it. Smith took it away. It was on the baseline, I think, but guess not. Smith with it, working on Courtney. So Oberlin gets a fresh 30. Okubo drives, gets all the way to the rim and scores. Nine-point lead for Oberlin, their largest of the night. Ferguson enters to Stevens. Courtney over to Ferguson. Courtney around the screen, stops, floats, blocked. Hard to get that over the 6'10", Milu Michanovic. Now Okubo, Oberlin can extend this to double digits. Hassan snipes Ray, stops and kicks it out. Okubo into the paint, kicks out. Michanovic thought about another one. Now Gray, he lost it. Looked like he was going to step back and try a three. 5 to shoot now for Smith. He's struggling to handle it. Gray has to hoist it, no good. Pretty solid defensive possession for the Hornets there. Now Ferguson looking to push, and he's going to be fouled. See if this is on the way up. I think it is. No, they're going to stay on the floor.
Fouls on number 12, Zach Smith. His first, team's fifth.
First one on Zach Smith.
Rob Magner enters.
As Magner comes back in, taking out Michanovic. Blackwood off the inbound. They'll try and back down. Spins with the right. He's short. Now Smith with a running head start and a foul called on Ferguson. That'll be his first. Each team with 5 so far.
That's the team's fifth.
Snipes Ray. He's going to get called for a charge, pushing off on Vandermeer, who just came back in. 6th team foul, which means the Hornets the rest of the way will be shooting free throws. As Gannon back in, Gray comes out. Do you feel like with Gray out of the game, this is the spot where Kalamazoo would like to try and make a run?
Yeah, I would agree. They really need to start driving into the paint and using this to their advantage.
Not just Gray out, but Michanovic out too. Hannafin drives, kicks out to Blackwood. Might have gotten away with shuffling, but it's out to Stevens, who goes back into Blackwood. On the block, up with the right, and he scores. Blackwood gets his first 2 of the game. Okubo flips it off to Smith. 27-20 is the Yeoman lead. Pretty low scoring half of basketball so far. 3 is good for Magner. Vandermeer almost had one as Snipes Ray guarding him. Works around the screen from Stevens. Now Ferguson steps back. His second 3 of the game, in and out. Stevens hustling for the rebound. It's going to roll out of bounds and go to Oberlin. Double-digit lead for Oberlin as Courtney will come in and take out Ferguson, and Broadsword will come in to take out Stevens. Busquet in for Oberlin. Been a very up-and-down game so far. Lots of running in transition, but feels like most of the points have come in the half court as Busquet hands to Snipes Ray. Another 3, no good. That one from Gannon. Oberlin shooting pretty well. They're 5 of 11 from deep. Kalamazoo not so well. 2 of 8. Courtney dumps the lob to Broadsword. Tried to throw it down and picked up the foul.
Fouls on Rob Magner. That's his first.
First one on Magner, officially putting Kalamazoo in the bonus. Broadsword's the 61% free throw shooter.
I would have liked to see that dunk go in.
That would have been quite the slam. First free throw good for Broadsword. As Navarre returns for Oberlin, takes out Gannon. A lot of fouls, but no foul trouble yet for either side in this first half. Broadsword misses the second. Okubo, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Navarre as he took out Hannafin after the dribble handoff. It's a turnover for Oberlin. It's their 5th of the game. About 4.5 to go in the first half. Courtney gets into the paint, up with the right. He couldn't finish. Broadsword couldn't hold on to the offensive rebound. Oberlin pushing. Okubo fakes the handoff, thought about pulling up, gave it to Bousquet. Hornets do not have an offensive rebound in this game. Something that they did very well against Case Western Reserve. Okubo with the baseline drive. Kicks out to a wide open 3. It's good for Navarre. 12-point Oberlin lead, their largest. Backwood on the backdoor cut, counted and a foul. The cut by Blackwood and the vision by Broadsword. Navarre picks up the foul. It's going to be his second, and that will take us to immediate timeout. Kalamazoo hoping that AM1 gives them a little bit of momentum. Oberlin with a 10-point lead, 3:55 to go, first half, 33-23. Blackwood will have one free throw out of the timeout. 33-23 Oberlin leads. Gray and Mitranovic back in for the Yeoman. Blackwood on the year one. That is his first free throw try of the year. He got it. Brings it back to single digits for the Hornets. They go back to the press. Blackwood nearly had a steal. A little late to react, and Gray brings it over. Give to Okubo. Over to Navarre. Down low to Mitranovic, wide open for an easy 2. Hannafin pulls up and got it. He wanted a foul. Thought they got him on the arm. First 2 of the game for Hannafin. Now it's Gray. Pulls up for 3 and got it. Blackwood went under the screen, and Gray hits his second 3 of the night. Pushes it back to a 12-point lead. Hannafin around the screen, pulls up again. Couldn't get it. He keeps saying he gets hit. Gray, baseline drive, spinning on Blackwood. Fades away too much. Feels like a rare miss from Gray. who is now 7 of 10 tonight. Broadsword. Courtney off the screen. Stops his drive. Out the broadsword. He's going to try and drive. Little pull up from him. He got it. You don't see that a whole lot. 10-point game. Okubo to Busquet. You know, eventually they want to end up with this ball in the hands of Gray. He's got 16 in the first half. Okubo out to Michinovic. Gray, another three. That one front iron, no good. Loose ball goes to Courtney. There was a collision between Okubo and I believe Blackwood. Courtney couldn't finish on the other hand. Might have been deflected by Gray. Okubo over to Busquet. They get it into Gray. High low to Michinovic, and a foul is going to be called in. Some foul trouble for the first time today, as that's going to be the second on Broadsword with 1:43 to go in the half. And Oberlin is going to take a timeout. A quick 30-second timeout. So far, Oberlin with a 10-point lead. For Kalamazoo defensively, what has to change?
I think they have to keep staying solid and just not fouling. Or if they do foul, make sure they don't make it, because it seems to be they're making everything at the moment.
And most of that comes from J.J. Gray, who is 7 of 11 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. What do you think the adjustment has to be on him specifically? That maybe going over some screens? You know, what do you think has to be the change?
Definitely over the screens. And I think Dougie Blackwood is doing very good, staying down on him and not letting him get anything easy.
It'll be Oberlin basketball underneath. That was the 6th team foul on Kalamazoo. Stevens takes Broadsword out with the 2 fouls, and Sampa back in as well. Something to keep an eye on for Oberlin. Michinovic, Okubo, all with a single foul, and another timeout by Oberlin. So they had to burn. You only get 4 now with immediate timeouts being introduced, and they had to burn their second one, which you never like to do in the first half. You have your one use it or lose it timeout that you have to call in the first half, and then afterwards, they all count the same. Nobody else on Oberlin with more than 5 following Gray, who's got the 16. Kalamazoo's led by Broadsword with 7, but 28 points shows you the scoring has been a little hard to come by. The Hornets not shooting the ball well from the field. Actually, not shooting terrible from the field, 44%, but just 25% from 3, whereas Oberlin is 50%, 7 of 14. And really, you feel like that's the difference in the game right now is the three-point shooting, don't you?
Yeah, I think the Hornets are executing in the paint more, and they need to keep going to it.
Inbound goes to Navarre, the only Yeoman with 2 fouls. Busquet has got it, 10 to shoot. Okubo over to Navarre. They're trying to get it to Gray. He's got 5 seconds to operate. He goes over Bandemir and scores. 12-point Oberlin lead, 40-28. Their offense has really come alive these last 8 minutes or so of the half. Stevens, they leave him there, and he hits a 3.
Been a lot of big man threes in this game.
A needed 3 for the Hornets. Trying to re-energize their bench a little bit as we hit the 1-minute mark. Gray just trying to regain the Oberlin momentum. Now Okubo. Sampa might have gotten a piece of it with his foot, but now Busquet enters to Gray. He turns around, shoots, no good. It's knocked out of bounds. It's going to go to the Hornets. They say off of Michinovic. And Sampa, the 5'11 guard, leaped up to knock that off of him as Gray comes out with 45 seconds left. You've got a 2-for-1 if you want it. Sampa will initiate the offense. Crucial offensive possession before the half. Courtney drives out. Dougie Blackwood a three, no good. And Okubo is going to be fouled by Stevens with 33.6 to go, and it means 1-1.
J.J. Stevens with the personal foul. That's his first. Oberlin is in the bonus. Yuki Okubo will be on the line. 1-1.
Okubo has split his free throws today. Usually an excellent free throw shooter. Second one no good, or first one no good, to the 1-1 rather, so an empty trip, about a 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock, and Sompa is going to let it wind down. Another big possession. Courtney running it down. 10 to shoot. Courtney's going to be the one to run the action. He's got 4 to shoot. Courtney tries to throw it into Stevens, and they turn it over. Unable to even get a shot up.
Zach Smith, J.J. Gray, check in for Oberlin.
4.4. Gray will inbound. You expect him to get it back probably with the way he's played in this half. Hornets will go with some full court pressure. Smith, 3 seconds. Tossed it ahead to Bousquet, who got the shot off. No good. That will take us to halftime, where Oberlin with a 9-point lead, 40-31. Their largest lead of that half was 12 points. That game with about a minute and a half to go in the half. Oberlin shooting pretty good from the field, 51%. Kalamazoo, 44% from the field. Yeoman just under 50% from three, where the Hornets are 3 of 10. Oberlin also out-rebounding Kalamazoo 20-14. But what I would say the biggest stat is right now, not a single offensive rebound for Kalamazoo. Why do you think that is?
I would say they're taking deep shots, which means deep rebounds, and that's just easier for Oberlin to get and kick out, and that's why they're getting easier transition points.
In the individual numbers, we touched on it. J.J. Gray leading everybody. He's got 18 points for Oberlin. Yuki Okubo with 5, and Malone Mushanovic with 5 of his own. The rebounding category, Mishanovic with 6. Leading them in assist is Okubo with 3. The only real foul trouble for Oberlin. A lot of guys with 1, but Adam Navarre is the only guy with 2. On the Hornets side, Lucas Broadsword with 7. Nelson Sompa and Dougie Blackwood with 5 apiece. In the rebound category, it's DJ Courtney with 4, and an assist, Sompa, Broadsword, Bandamir, and J.J. Stevens each with 1. Their only foul trouble is their starting center, Lucas Broadsword, with 2. So, Macy, what do you think is the key for Kalamazoo? Is it more of an offensive thing or a defensive thing for this half?
I would say defensive and figuring out a way to stop J.J. Gray. I mean, he seems to be Kalamazoo's kryptonite at the moment.
That will take us to halftime. We'll take a break. Be back with you in about 13 minutes and 25 seconds for half number 2. Zach Metz here with Macy Ivins. Your halftime score, Oberlin College 40, Kalamazoo College 31. stories of his pregame speech are so funny. G-Yards.
He's just a goofy guy. Like, I could never imagine him as a coach.
He told me the story about, like, you guys were playing before them somewhere, and you guys were in, like, the locker room next to them, and they could hear him, like, yelling at you guys at, like, halftime or something. And he's like, damn, that fired me up. And then GR came in and gave, like, a really, like, flame speech. And they're like, oh, fuck. That's interesting. So, like, with how fast, like, we're playing, only one combined fast break point.
Yeah, that's. You only get. There's just been low everything except JJ Gray.
Well, we're not shooting well. That's quick. I mean, only 30%. Not that we're a great shooting team anyway, but. Back to start the second half of play on Tisch Loveless Court at the Anderson Athletic Center on the campus of Kalamazoo College. Zach Metz here. Next to me is Macy Ivins. Kalamazoo College taking on Oberlin College, where the Yeomen have a 9-point halftime lead, 40-31, led behind J.J. Gray and his 18 points on 8 of 13 shooting. Possession will go to Oberlin to start the second half. Kalamazoo's second half starters, same as the ones who started the game: Nelson Sompa, Carter Bandemir, Patrick Perez, DJ Courtney, and Lucas Broadsword on the Oberlin side. They deploy the same as well: JJ Gray, Yoki Okubu, Hassan Snipes Ray, Andrew Gannon, and Maloon Mishanovic. Yoki Okubu is going to be immediately fouled by Nelson Sompa. It's his first, 10 seconds into the half.
I think something good that the Hornets are doing is sharing the ball. They have about 8 scores, it looks like.
Yeah, you'd be correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9 scores.
9 scores, however, only 4 assists. But a fairly low offensive output compared to what they've done this year. Hassan Snipes Ray backs down Bandemir, but misses the look. Lucas Broadsword pulls down the rebound as they look for a bucket on their first second half possession. Courtney gets a baseline drive out to Broadsword, and with the right scores. That's a guy you got to get going. He scores about 18 a game. He's up to 9 right now to lead the Hornets, and they got it within 7. Okubu pulls up and immediately answers. So the other way now, the Hornets will start their action with Courtney to Broadsword. Dribble handoff, Patrick Perez. Perez into the lane, fumbles with it, couldn't get it to go. A good look, but a lot of those good looks haven't fallen for Kalamazoo. Andrew Gannon to Snipes Ray. Out to Okubo. Okubo down low to Gannon, and he's going to be fouled on the way up, and he will shoot 2. It'll be just the 4th and 5th free throw attempts for Oberlin tonight.
2 pretty quick fouls in the second half.
Andrew Gannon is 5 of 7 from the stripe this year, misses the first one on the back iron. Oberlin just 1 of 5. Excuse me, I was correct. 1 of 4 from the line now. That foul win against Carter Bandemir, his second. Gannon converts, so it's a 10-point game. Oberlin's largest lead was at 12, with about a minute and a half to go in the half. Nelson Sompa around the screen, picks up his dribble, goes to Broadsword. Out to DJ Courtney. He stops in the lane, out to Bandamere. He tries a three, and he got it. With J.J. Gray, who's got about 4 or 5 inches on him in his face. Bandamere converts, lead back to 7.
That's a great look for the Hornets.
Bandamere's their best volume shooter. As Snipes Ray on the cut, scores. Lead back to 9. Sompa dumps down low to Broadsword, and he gets an easy 2. So we're back to 7. If the Hornets can string together a stop and another score, they could have it down to 5 or 4 and be right back in it. Okubo off the screen. Got Sompa in the air. His turnaround shot, no good. Now Courtney. Around the screen. Floats with the right, no good. Broadsword the offensive rebound. Their first of the game, but that shot might have been deflected by Milun Michanovic. Gannon gives to Okubo. Out to J.J. Gray. Been so effective from the mid-range, but he kicks out. Okubo. And a foul called on Sompa. That's his second. 3 fouls in just over 3 minutes for the Hornets. As a couple of subs is DJ Ferguson in and Lucas Hannafin in. Fresh 20 is Yeoman inbound to Okubo. Over to Snipes Ray. To Michanovic to Gannon. Gannon drives. Gotta look too strong. Got it back. Scores with a foul. Ferguson's going to get hit with the on the arm foul, and those are possessions that just take life out of you. Give up an offensive rebound and an and one.
4 minutes in, and the Hornets are already at 4 fouls.
Could be problematic later. First one against Ferguson. And Gannon converts, so it's a 10-point game again. So Broadsword will bring it up. He does do this from time to time. Hannafin pops out, tries a three, in and out. Quick three, and it's no good. Gray. Perez defending him. He picks up his dribble. Got to keep him from getting more shots. Okubo is going to go around an illegal screen from Milun Michanovic. Second one against the 6'10" junior from Podgorica, Montenegro. First Oberlin foul of the half. Ferguson to Courtney. Over to Perez. They're trying to get Broadsword open. They eventually get it to him, and then he misses the pass to Hannafin for a turnover, and that should take us to a timeout. At the 15:49 mark, Oberlin has added 1 point to their lead. They will have the basketball when we come back. Oberlin ball following a turnover out of a timeout, and they will bring Zach Bronson into the game. He's got it here around a screen. Looks like trying to get it to Gray. They do. Gray drives, fades away. He was fouled first. And he will get 2 shots.
Is that Perez's third?
It is the second on Perez. Now, 5 Hornets with 2 fouls. Selpa, Broadsword, Perez, Vandermeer, and Ferguson. 4 of the starting 5. As Gray will shoot 2, where he is an 80% shooter. Well, the way he's shooting tonight, you would expect both to drop. And he misses the first.
Free throws seem to be a problem on both sides tonight.
You know, when Dawson Scoopin's here, he tries to take credit for missed free throws. I'm taking that one.
What if it's me, though?
I'll give you credit when it is you. Maybe it's you being here.
Yeah.
Second one for Gray away and good. Oberlin lead 2-11. Courtney creates some space for himself, steps back, tries a 3, no good. Perez gets the rebound. The follow, no good. Perez with just 2 points, and his second shot from the field misses. Gray, baseline drive, and he scores with the right on the left to give Oberlin their largest lead of the night at 13. Ferguson tried to split some contact, and he's going to draw a foul in the process. It's going to go on Bronson. It'll be his first. And they're going to say a shooting foul, so DJ Ferguson will shoot 2. He's senior from Lansing Catholic High School. Transferred in from Heidelberg last year. Hits the first free throw. As Vandermeer and Blackwood both come back in. Blackwood has been tasked with guarding Gray off the bench and has done a pretty decent job in this game as Ferguson stays perfect from the free throw stripe. He's now 7 of 7 on the season. Cuts it back to 11, 15 minutes to go in this one. Gray to Bronson, throws it away. I was looking for a backdoor cut to Navarre. As Duke Luwal comes back in, the 7-footer. Well, you get the matchup you were excited about in the first half with Luwal and Broadsword. Ferguson off the screen, tries a 3, just couldn't get it to go, and it feels like it's been that kind of night.
Yeah, the Hornets are getting great looks, just nothing's falling for them at the moment.
And on the other end, Gray not going to get a look. Blackwood forced it out of his hands. And then an offensive foul is going to be called on Luwal. Stuck his leg out a little bit too far.
Luwal, that's his first. Will Busquet back in for Oberlin.
Will Busquet back in for Oberlin. Hannafin gets a running start, then gives it to Ferguson. Ferguson gets it back, tried to give it to to Broadsword. Turned over. Navarre brings it the other way. Navarre drives, blocked by Broadsword. Hornets looking to run. Hannafin ahead to Ferguson. He will slow down, give it to Broadsword. Broadsword tried to give it to Blackwood, and it was deflected by those long arms of Gray. And Broadsword forced to kick it out. Vandermeer drives. Hannafin gets a wing 3, no good. And a tough rebound from Busquet with Ferguson flying in. Navarre around the screen to Gray. Bronson gives it to Gray, just above the block. Creates some space, fades and hits. 21 points tonight for J.J. Gray. Oberlin lead back to 13. That's their largest. Ferguson around the screen. Fade pull-up, he got it, wanted a foul. But a tough shot for Ferguson drops. He's up to 7 points tonight. 11-point game. Gray. Busquets left wide open in the corner, and he couldn't get it. Tips it out, though, for the offensive rebound. Just an effort play from Busquets, who was left unguarded. Bronson to Navarre. Gray's got it. He'll pull up. Mid-range jump shot, no good. Blackwood gets the rebound. Hannafin kicks out. Ferguson wide open for three. It's good. And they're back within single digits.
Ferguson seems to be the fire that they needed.
Gray spins, no good. Quick shot, no good. And a little bit of momentum to the Hornets. Hannafin, a couple of jabs. Drive, and he's going to be fouled before he could get anything up. And this will allow both teams to make some subs. It's going to go on Bronson. It's his second, and Gray comes out, Bronson comes out, and Lual comes out for Oberlin. They bring in Okubo, Zach Smith, and Rob Magner. And for the Hornets, Perez back in, taking out Blackwood. Stevens in, taking out Broadsword. Sompa in, taking out Hannafin. Stevens working, spins. Got Magner in the air. Ball was deflected. Stevens gets the offensive rebound. Trying to create space, but he walked beforehand. And Oberlin will get it off turnover. It just feels like when you get these momentum swing type of possessions, they've gone Oberlin's way so far in this game.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
53-45 is the score. 12 minutes to go. Smith and the Hornets going to go to a bit of a zone look here, a 3-2 zone look. Okubo over to Smith, who gets an open three, in and out. Stevens rebounds. Sompa sizing up over to Perez. Perez behind the back to a cutting Ferguson. Stops, fades, no good. And another real strong rebound by Oberlin, and Smith got that one. Okubo's got it. Used 10 of the shot clock. Under the screen, one more to Busquets. Okubo, an extra one. Navarre lets a three fly in, hits. The answers have been there for Oberlin, and they push the lead back to double digits. Sompa on the wing. Drives baseline. He's going to be fouled by Smith before the shot. Puts us at 5 fouls apiece on each team. Against Smith, that's his second, and it will take us to a timeout. Oberlin has expanded their second half lead to 12 with 10:50 to go. DJ Courtney back in for Kalamazoo. And Bradley Izuka comes in for the first time this half. Hornets trail by 12, or 11 rather. Izuka slips open, Got the offensive rebound, got it up and down with a foul.
What a great finish.
Got his own rebound on the miss and then finishes with a foul.
Fouls on Zach Smith.
It's on Smith, that's his third.
That's his third personal foul. Izuka at the line to complete the 3-point play.
Izuka can get it back down to 8, the deficit for the Hornets. He's a 72% free throw shooter. That one rattles off. Free throws, as you mentioned, neither team has been great. Oberlin is 4 of 8. Kalamazoo is now 6 of 11. Busquets drives. Okubo. Around the screen, kick out. Mishanovic's 3 is good, his second of the night. You mentioned loving big man threes. He came into this game 0 of 4, and he's hit 2 tonight, 2 of 3. 12-point lead for Oberlin. Izuka to Sompa. Pump fake, created some space, tried to drop it down. It's going to go out of bounds. Staying with the Hornets as Broadsword comes back in to take Stevens out.
I think what's been working for the Hornets is the pick and roll and hitting Broadsword. If they keep doing that, I think this lead could come down to a little bit shorter.
Sompa gets it into Courtney, who gives it back to Sompa, who tries a 3 in the corner. No good. Kalamazoo 5 of 16 from deep. Meanwhile, Oberlin 9 of 19. Okubo. Gives it to Smith. Smith drives, gets all the way through, got it up somehow, and drew the foul on Izuka. So Zach Smith will shoot 2.
Foul on Izuka. That's his first. Zach Smith at the line shooting a couple.
Zach Smith is 7 of 8 from the free throw stripe tonight. Has yet to attempt one. And he's too strong in the first one. 4 of 9 from the stripe for the Yeoman. Has Hannafin back in for Sompa. Smith's second one is good. Ties the largest lead of the night for the Yeoman at 13. Trying to free up somebody, either Bandamir or Courtney. They eventually get it to DJ Courtney. Nearly turns it over, but got it to Hannafin. Those strong receiver hands come in handy there.
Yeah, I was going to say that looked like a football catch.
Bandamir steps, fades away, and hits.
What a shot.
Tough shot for Carter Bandamir. He's got 5 points tonight. Okubo has it blocked by Broadsword. Hornets running a little bit now. Courtney into the lane. Tried to get it out to Hannafin. He turned it over. Okubo over to Busquets. He drives, slams on the brakes. Tried to throw it down to Mishanovic. It's a turnover. 8:44 to go. Hornet deficit at 11. Courtney trying to get it to Broadsword. He eventually does. Broadsword goes to work. Izuka wide open on a cut for 2.
That's the good cuts that they need to look for.
Back to single digits again. Hannafin pressuring Okubo the whole way. Okubo gets into the lane, tried to reverse it, and he's fouled. So Okubo will go back to the line for 2. It's third one on Lucas Broadsword with just over 8 minutes left. Yuki Okubo can extend the lead back to double digits.
Okubo at the line is going to shoot 2.
free throw rattles out. Kubo has struggled today. As Gray and Snipes Ray both back in for Oberlin. Kubo hits the second. He will immediately come out as Bronson comes back in. Ten-point lead. The Hornets have cut the deficit to as close as 7 in the second half, but no closer than that. It's hung right around 8 to 13 points the entire half. Hannafin stops. 3, got it. 7 again.
That is a 3 that they needed right there.
7 for Hannafin. He is making life tough for Bronson. Took nearly 8 seconds to get into their offense. Bronson, now they got a switch with Mishanovic on Hannafin, who went for the steal, then lost it, but it ends up with Gray. Gray gonna drive, get all the way to the rim and score. Courtney has to pick it up, somehow ends up with Hannafin. He somehow got it up. It's no good, and the rebound to Gray, a long rebound. $7:10 left. A timeout coming that both teams could probably use quite a bit. And the ball was thrown weirdly off of Mishanovic. Might have hit the backboard. Awkward play, but the Hornets get a stop. Courtney. In a broadsword. Out to Hannafin. Jab. He'll try a 3 and hit a 3. Hannafin's got it within 6.
Seems to be keep feeding the ball to Lucas Hannafin.
Double digits for Hannafin. Gray backing down Izuka. Gray gets into the paint, has his shot block, but got the rebound. Missed the bunny, got one more try and scores. Those ones will just hurt you. 3 chances for Gray. Izuka steps back, was looking for broadsword. Now Hannafin, he'll try another one. That one came up short.
He's looking for the heat check.
Felt like he had a good look at it. 8-point game with about 6 minutes left. You can see the wear and tear on both teams right now. Been a long time without a stoppage. Gray, the go-to guy, fades over Izuka and hits. 27 for J.J. Gray. One short of his career high, which is 28. Courtney into the lane, down low to broadsword, and he's going to be fouled. And that will take us to a much-needed timeout for both teams. It's the third one on Milou and Michanovic. That will take us timeout. 5:35 to go. Oberlin leading it by 10. Oberlin 67, Kalamazoo 57, 5:35 to go. Lucas Broadsword to the line for 2 free throws. Free throw stripe has not been kind to either team. Oberlin's at 6 of 12, Kalamazoo's at 6 of 11. Broadsword will have 2, where he has split his lone pair today. He leads the Hornets tonight with 11 and now 12 points with that free throw. That was the 3rd foul on Milun Mishanovic. As that one rattles in and out, we'll stay at a 9-point game. Kubo brings it into the front court. Hornets will go zone. Taking nearly half the shot clock just to get any action. Gray gives it up. Going to Mishanovic, who's up and scores over Broadsword. That's 6'10" right there. Sopa, quick drive, gave it back to Broadsword, who floats it over Mishanovic and scores an immediate answer.
Seems to be we're having a post battle.
9-point lead for the Yeomen still. We've been on even terms the entire second half. Gray sizes up Kalamazoo back to man-to-man defense. Okubo hands it to Gannon, thinks about a 3. Hop step through the lane and a little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump for a travel.
The Hornets like that call.
Stevens will give Broadsword a blow. Sompa to Bandamir. To Stevens to Courtney. Courtney drives, gets all the way to the rim, missed the layup. Stevens couldn't back it in. They'll get the offensive rebound. Swing around to Sompa. Gets it back. Sompa open for 3, it's good! Boy, did they need that after Courtney couldn't get the layup to go. 6-point game, as close as the Hornets have been. Okubo to Snipes Ray. He slows it down. Under 4 minutes to go. Hornets within 6. Okubo. They get it to Gray. 10. Gray trying to create space on Perez. Gets to the rim. Misses the layup too strong, but he's fouled.
That's going to be Perez's 3rd foul.
Perez asking, what more should I do? It'll send J.J. Gray back to the line. If he converts both of these, it will officially give him a career high. But first, we'll take a timeout. 3:41 to go. The Hornets as close as they've been. 69-63, Yeomen lead it. Two shots for J.J. Gray. If he hits both of these, he will have a new career high. And he misses the first one, so it won't happen yet. And Broadsword will come back in. Take Stevens out of the game. Oberlin leads at 69-63. 3 minutes, 41 seconds to go in the game. Gray's second free throw is home, so that ties his career high at 28. He set that as a freshman at Hiram earlier in the calendar year, back in February. Perez down low to Broadsword. Over to Vandermeer. He tries a three, comes up short. Perez gets the offensive rebound, and it's knocked out of bounds by Gannon.
They've stepped up the offensive rebounds in the second half, which has helped them cut this lead down a little bit.
They certainly have. They had 0 in the first half, and they're now up to 5 in the second half. And a whistle called, and it's going to be on Oberlin Snipes Ray. And it means 1-1 for DJ Courtney. Courtney struggled tonight from the field, just 1 of 7. 8th team foul for Oberlin. Free throw is good. Courtney's a 72% free throw shooter. It's second one on Snipes Ray. Second free throw. Rattles around and drops, so 5-point game. Back to some pressure. Okubo gets it ahead to Gannon. Gannon driving, backs down Vandermeer and scores.
Not much more Vandermeer can do on that one. That was just a tough finish.
Vandermeer around a screen, into the lane, stops, kicks out to Perez. Now to Broadsword. Over to Courtney. Gets a step, weaving through the lane, and Oberlin's going to get the stop. Seven-point lead for Oberlin with just under 3 minutes. Okubo gets it in. Oberlin content to take their time, but just a 3-possession game. You would imagine this ball would go to Gray at some point. Okubo, they are taking their time. Okubo gets the screen from Gannon, then hands it off. Gray has it knocked away. It's on the floor. Gannon's got it, gives it back to Gray. Gray's got a hoist, does, no good. Snipes Ray right there for the offensive rebound. And then Okubo gets it, so Oberlin will be able to run 20 more seconds off. And they've got Broadsword up on Okubo. Hornets are sending traps and double teams from everywhere. Misha Novic, Perez deflects, gets the steal. Oh, he was out of bounds.
That was a great defensive possession by the Hornets.
They gave up the offensive rebound, which really hurts in that spot. 72-65. Seven to shoot, they get it in. 5 to shoot. Gray still doesn't have it. Gannon is going to have to hoist one. Does. Hits the front iron. Snipes Ray gets a rebound. And Oberlin can run 20 more off. Gray. And a timeout called by Oberlin before that ball went out of bounds. Maybe, or was it out of bounds off of Perez? And I guess they are going to say out of bounds. Hornets will take a timeout.
Yeah,
back-to-back offensive rebounds.
Just on that possession, they wasted a minute off the clock just by getting 2 offensive rebounds.
They used the full 30, then the full 20, then the full 20 again, so they got 14 more seconds on what's going to be an over a minute possession in a 7-point game. That is certainly crucial. Hornets' second half rally has resulted in them cutting the deficit to 5, as close as they've been. J.J. Gray's 28 points behind 19 in the first half have led the way for the Yeomen. So we've seen the Hornets start to throw some traps out here on this last possession. Do you think they'll continue that? And then, if they do, when will they start to play the foul game?
Yeah, I would expect them to keep doing the traps because it seems to be working if they execute it correctly, which they have been. But then they just had to crash the boards and all 5 would go rebound. They'll probably start doing the foul game around, I'd say, a minute, 45 seconds.
Yeah, I got what you meant. Sompa, Vandermeer, Courtney, Perez, and Broadsword. The 5 for Kalamazoo. For Oberlin, it's Gray, Okubo, Snipes Ray, Gannon and Mishinovich. They get into Okubo. Gets the running start. You know, they wanted this to end up with Gray eventually. They're trying to get it to him, and they do eventually. Gray spins, fades, might have been deflected, and it didn't hit the rim, so it's going to be a shot clock violation.
Great defense by Perez on that one.
Gives him the ball back with 1:41, down 7. Still quite a bit of time left. Perez has been the toughest matchup for J.J. Gray so far. Who do you go to on this offensive possession? Is it Broadsword on the block?
Yeah, I would say Broadsword or Bandamir for a 3.
Sompa brings it up. Here is Broadsword. Fakes the give, then goes. He's got it again. Now Courtney. Courtney gets into the lane, gives it down to Broadsword. Pump fake, up at the rim, couldn't get it. They've missed so many shots right around the rim, too. And Oberlin will probably start to bleed more time off this clock. Okubo with Sompa close. Broadsword comes up to try and jump. Might we see a trap here? Okubo got some space. Gannon, a wide open 3, comes up short, but another offensive rebound. 3 offensive rebounds in the final 2 minutes. Okubo in trouble, and he's going to be fouled. Means he will have 1 and 1. With 51 seconds to go, it's going to be third one on Bandamir. Now, Okubo is usually an excellent free throw shooter. As Michinovic comes out, 81% on the year. He's just 2 of 5 today. And now Navarre comes in too to take Gray out. Each team with 2 timeouts left. The possession arrow favoring Kalamazoo. 1 and 1 for Okubo. Away and good. Got the bounce. And Kalamazoo is going to take a timeout. They'll have 1 remaining. So obviously you're going to need quick baskets. Do you think it's got to be Bandamir for a jump shot?
Yeah, I would think so. Broadsword isn't finishing as well as it usually does around the rim. It's getting to that point where they're going to need 3s in this possession.
51.1. It's an 8-point game with a chance for 1 more for Oberlin. In a game where they have really dominated on rebounding, 39-26. Now, part of that, they've made more shots, but 3-4 offensive rebounds in the last 3 minutes is really what has done Kalamazoo in. Oberlin has led for over 90% of this game. They had a 9-point lead at halftime, and not to say that it's grown, but it's hovered right around there the entire way. As we look at the upcoming schedules for both of these teams, Oberlin will play another MIAA opponent coming up on Saturday when they take on Adrian. If the score holds, they will continue their trend of winning all their non-conference games. Kalamazoo will continue the non-conference on Sunday when they take on Lake Forest. Kalamazoo beat Lake Forest last year in Illinois, and it was a really, really good game. As they will come out of the timeout. Kubo will have 1 more. Free throw good, 9-point game. Sompa brings it up quickly, under 50 seconds to go. Trying to get Bandamir open. Now Oberlin switching everything. And then Broadsword loses control of it. It has just been those unexplainable turnovers that have hurt Kalamazoo as well. That's their 13th of the game as Zach Smith and J.J. Gray back in. Bronson will come in too.
As is Zach Brunson.
They get it in to Okubo, to Bronson, who will hold on to it. Okubo trapped and then fouled. That's going to be Sompa. That's the 10th on the Hornets, so Oberlin will shoot 2. The offense-defense subs will be Navarre, Magner, and Busquet. Sompa picked up his 3rd. Free throw good, and somebody has 5 fouls. The stats don't show who.
It's looking like he's going to have to shoot his first free throw again.
There's some, I guess the confusion was on who the foul's on.
Fouls on Vanderbilt. That's his 4th.
It's going to be Bandamir. It's his 4th. I think they were asking, is it on number 5? That first free throw for Okubo didn't count. This one will, and it is good. That expands the lead to 10. 35 seconds to go. Oberlin will get their 2nd straight victory over Kalamazoo, as Koki will come take out Perez. Broadsword brings it up. Bandamir hoists a 3. Really not close. It's going to be close to out of bounds, and in fact, it is out of bounds.
Looks like the Hornets get the ball back.
They do. 24 seconds to go. Our next broadcast will be this upcoming Saturday when the Kalamazoo College women's basketball team will be in action against Albion. As Bandamir gets another 3. That one may have been deflected, and Koki decided to save it late. 11-point game, 16.2 seconds left before Saturday. Kalamazoo women's team, junior teammates will travel down to Kenyon tomorrow night.
Yes.
I want to get a little preview. How you guys feeling about that one?
We're feeling pretty good. Long drive, but we're not going to let that sway how the game goes. We have a lot more numbers, as in players, for us than them, and it should be a good ball game.
Oberlin takes a timeout. They have 1 left as we are just about to wrap this one up. They will improve to 6-3. They'll get back into league play, look for their first league win January 4th when they take on Ohio Wesleyan. Kalamazoo will fall to 4-2. They'll start league play on January 8th when they take on the defending national champions Trine. Oberlin ball out of the timeout. It's going to be a deep ball to Okubo, who will be there, and he will lay it in to expand on the lead. Just a touch. Sompa in some trouble with 5 seconds to go. Broadsword will throw it over to Koki. His shot no good, and that will be the final score. Oberlin wins it by a score of 78-65. As we look at the scores and the stats of this one, J.J. Gray for Oberlin ties his career high with 28 points. Yuki Okubo with 14. Milum Mishanovic with 12, leading them in rebounds. Mishanovic, who gets a double-double with 11 rebounds. Gray adding 6, and then assists. Okubo with 7. Hassan Snipes, Ray, and Zach Bronson each with 2. On the Hornets side of it, they are led by Lucas Broadsword with 14. TJ Ferguson and Lucas Hannafin each with 10. Broadsword with 6 rebounds. DJ Courtney with 6 rebounds and an assist. Lucas Broadsword with 4. Nelson Sompa with 3. That just about wraps up this broadcast. And as we said earlier, our next broadcast will be on Saturday when the Kalamazoo College women's basketball team, Macy and her teammates, will be in action to take on Albion.
Come watch.
Certainly come watch. Come to Anderson if you can. If not, tune in. Signing off here from Tisch Loveless Court inside the Anderson Athletic Center, my name is Zach Metz. Thanks for joining me, Macy.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Of course, Macy Ivins to my left. See you on Saturday. Have a great night. Final score one more time. Oberlin 76, Kalamazoo 65.